would be able to just buy a $20 million pub, for example, right? Very exciting asset, but not very accessible for most people. So what we've created over the last few years is a platform that helps people be able to buy smaller pieces of property. So it means that you can own a $10,000 piece of this hotel very easily. So two things that we've done. One is we've made it very simple for breaking up the property, and we do it in a way that is by property law. We do it in a way that doesn't make it a financial service or doesn't need to be like a PDS involved or anything that's kind of financial services. So you're actually buying a small piece of property, and if you have a look at this one, this is a good example. So for $20 million, you can buy a $10,000 piece, and you're going to be getting a 3% net yield on this one. The really simple, easy to use interface makes it like e-commerce for property now, right? Which is really exciting. So what it means is instead of going through the traditional ways of buying property where you have to go through a whole load of conveyancing and everything else, you can actually buy this and own it today, now, right? And we're going to go through the platform that makes that possible behind the scenes in a minute, just so that you can understand it. But the main thing to understand here is that how many people have bought something online. Oh, sorry, how many people have not bought something online, right? And how simple is it to just look you have a look through what you want to buy, you add it to your shopping cart, you check out, and then you own it, right? So this is the same process for property. So when you place an order, you add it to your shopping cart, you then check out, and then there's a few steps around. You've got to do an ID check and things like that to launch your account. But ultimately, it just is really that simple and easy to be able to buy smaller pieces of property. What sits behind this and what makes this possible is the way that we've structured it with what we call the Australian Property Co-Ownership Register. So we're going to bring up that. So what we've actually done, we launched this just recently with New South Wales Government. What it is it's a co-ownership register that is linked to the land title. So we actually have for example, with that pub, we will have a caveat on the title, and that caveat links with an ID to the co-ownership register. So I'm just explaining this so you can see just .au, not .com.
You?
Yeah.
You've got 4.
Oh, sorry. I love one more W.
There you go. So this co-ownership register is what makes this all possible. So because it's linked to the land title, what happens is when you actually purchase, you're signing up to two things. You, as part of that purchase process, you're digitally signing a co-ownership deed, which brings you into the property, and that's the legal agreement that brings you in. It's like the contract of sale. When you sign a contract of sale and you buy a full property, the co-ownership deed is the similar kind of thing around how you buy a piece of property. So because you're effectively becoming a co-owner, and then after you've signed that, you're then registered, and it puts you onto the co-ownership register. So it's the co-ownership deed is the agreement, and then it puts you onto the co-ownership register, and then you have your ownership, and that's your certificate of ownership. So you actually own that piece of property. So the good thing about this is, and especially with commercial property, is it makes it very easy for people, not just in Australia but also overseas, to be able to buy into these commercial properties. If it was residential, there's a few challenges around FIRB and things like that, but so long as we keep each property under $260 million, then we don't need to worry about FIRB. So it makes it easy for anybody to be able to buy into any of the commercial properties that come onto the platform. And so we're really excited to be launching this now together as iPAN-X. So iPAN-X it's very, very new, very exciting, and we're getting a lot of interest in it. We're looking forward to doing a tour next week as well, off to Jakarta.
Yep. From next week we are touring the whole Asia.
Yeah.
So we have scheduled next week in Jakarta and Vietnam as well. So Andy will take it to Vietnam. Then in February we have scheduled to Malaysia and Hong Kong.
I'm going to scroll down some of the properties and we'll just so we can show you.
Yeah.
So what we just have to start with. So so we have this. So we've got the pub, which is a really exciting one. It's what we were yesterday. And then to give you an idea, there's a cafe and a service station. So how many people would be able to buy into a service station? It's pretty exciting to be able to buy into that type of asset. And again, for $10,000. So we're putting the price at a price point that makes it achievable for most people to be able to do this. And so what we would expect is people to start building a portfolio. So if you've got $50,000, you could buy two of the service station, one of the cafe, two of the two of the pub. So you can start to build a very good portfolio, a very diverse portfolio of commercial property. And as we bring on different types of assets, it's going to grow and become even more diverse. So and it will be right across Australia as well. So the more we can, the more traction we get, the more properties we start to bring on, and we've already got a number of properties in the pipeline. Value, probably the total value at the moment that we've got coming on is about $150 million worth, right? So to give you an idea. So there's a lot of opportunity, even just now, for people to be able to buy into these properties, and then we just keep growing it from there. So we'll hit these targets along the way, and it's been pretty exciting. But, yeah, really good.
So we have a testimonial video English or any language, Mongolian, Vietnamese, but then I'll do the video as well in English, then you can translate that one as well. Then hopefully the television will come in next couple of days. It's scheduled on Wednesday morning, 10:07. So watch it, the news, morning news. But with morning news, it depends on the news on that day. If someone robbed a house, or someone killed someone, or there's a terrorist somewhere, or Australian soccer gonna go to the second stage, we don't know. You know what I mean? So it depends. But it will happen. Yeah. When that happens, again you can put the translation again. Yeah. Then you can use that. So don't worry about the sales strategy and tools. We provide you everything. It's like iPAN. iPAN, when you talk about iPAN, iPAN is everything. You just bring yourself. That's it. But bring your heart. Don't just bring yourself and without the heart. If you left your heart at home, useless. Bring your heart with iPAN as well. Then you can see the result. Without the heart, you can never. That's why next year is about loyalty. Next year theme is gonna be about loyalty. Loyalty, partnership. Yeah? Loyalty, partnership, transparency. LPT. I'm gonna announce this in later this year. So next year is about LPT. Loyalty, partnership, transparency. So what it means is because iPAN have been trying to do so much for members. So if you don't stay loyal, then what's the point? So that's why we are pushing now loyalty. Means that let's do this together. We have done so much for you. We prepare for you everything, tools, everything. Even sometimes people say too much. Like you don't have to think. We prepare everything. Video, like we pay so much to go TV, to pay too much for the PR to go on newspaper and that sort of stuff, and use technology, and so on, and prepare the translation even for you and everything. So basically, you just bring yourself and your heart, you're gonna make it. Yeah. So that is iPAN next year. So with iPAN, you don't worry. You have any issue, you always can contact me as a founder. You always can contact me. I always spend my time to help you. Then we can grow together. So what's your question after you click this information?
Yes, I'm still not fully understood the
the operation. So once we buy 1 or 2 lots, so the place is already rented. Okay? So, for example, if is it true like you're buying 1 lot for $10,000, then you're gonna get back $400.
Wait, I better sit and let Andy explain because he's gonna present this in the Okay.
Just
Ask him.
like explain on these numbers.
Yeah.
So this is the value of the property, right? And when you buy 10,000, the net rental yield is you get 4% of this as well. But like you buy 3 lots, 30,000 is 4% of 30,000 as well.
Lấy tay xuống.
Is the answer you? You have to be honest, yeah? We are learning
Try to
here.
understand this.
We are learning here.
So for this case, right? 10,000, 4% you got this per annum a year.
Annually.
Yeah, annually.
Paid quarterly.
Quarterly, yeah.
So how much you get in quarter per quarter?
Divide by 4, about 100. 100 go 25. So if you buy 10 lot, let's say you buy 100,000. So 10 times of this one. Yeah, but still 4% of the total amount. Yeah. So that's the net rental yield you got from the property. And other than that,
What does it mean net?
net is after all the fees and costs like
Property management.
yeah, property management, strata, water rate, council rate. Yeah, net is the profit. Yeah.
So if you buy property, say you buy a unit or a house, let's say you get 5% of rental return, but they never mention about the outgoing costs. After the outgoing costs may have maybe 1% there, if you're lucky, or 1.5. So this one after on the cost, they deduct all the cost for council rate, strata, whatever there, you get in your hand 4%. So $10,000, you get whatever there, $10,400. If you buy 3 lots, $30,000, you get 1200 per year. So that they pay out quarterly every 3 months.
You get 400.
You get 400. So you can monitor your income coming to your bank account.
Yeah.
So the very simple way to compare is compare with your saving. Let's say if you put 10,000 in the bank saving account, term deposit, something like that, your interest maybe just less than 1% or maybe 1%, right? This is 4%, 4 times higher. But with the property, it's not like just the rental yield only. This do have the value of property appreciation over the time. So let's say after, if you buy this, you keep for 5 years. So you buy at 10,000, later on, this may, when you sell, it may not 10,000, it could be 15, 20, depend on the market.
Property always goes up.
Yeah.
You don't lose.
So that's the two things.
Wow, this is nice property. I wanna buy it. How much? And they ask for 12,000. Or let me make an offer, because then they will have an offer. I offer him 11,000. But then Sonita will say, hey, no, I like this one. I offer 11,500. Something like that. It becomes auction.
Yeah.
It becomes a game. You know. Hi Tanya, how are you?
Okay, thank you.
So it becomes like a game, like a trading. So people will see the value. And that is when I say potential capital growth. Right? I mentioned 6 objectives selling iPAN-X. If anyone can remember, I give you $1,000. $1,000.
6 objective
Yeah.
of selling
I post this morning. See, I'm testing you again.
Go Lily for 1,000.
for 1,000. The
6 objectives. I post this morning. Everyone here join and like it, but didn't read. You see? Why I'm confident give you 1,000 because I know no one gonna remember. Like when I promised Stella 1,000 to everyone in the class, there were 8 of them. I'm willing to give you $8,000, but now only Della left. It's proven. So, what are the 6 ones? You have to remember this because this is the fundamental of iPAN-X business. Number 1, asset protection. Yeah, I already posted in iPAN-X. You don't have to write down. You go back to iPAN-X, you will see it. I posted already.
We still have to keep our own.
That's correct.
That's alright.
Asset protection. Number 2 is asset diversification. What does it mean, asset protection? Sorry, number 1, go back number. What does it mean, asset protection? Andy, you have to explain to me. Because you're gonna do this presentation in Vietnam. So what is asset protection to Vietnamese? It's okay, why don't you do it?
So asset protection, how to say? So there one way is again you hedge again with the inflation. That's one way to protect your assets. Inflation means if you got cash in the bank, when with the inflation, the stock become more costly, and the value of your cash going down. But like with the property, it's going up as well. So you don't lose your real assets with the cost of the living or of the market. Another thing is with the legal thing in different country, right? Like if you have asset in that country, you may when you in legal situation, they may tax that asset from you to cover for the liability. But like if you got this overseas, they may don't know it, they can't touch it, or even like, you know, so because like different country they have different system, different law, yeah. It's more complicated for them to
So they
get in
can't
touch
touch it.
your asset, or even like it's not from the government, like just like from the civil, you know, like you got between other people, they set up something else. It's about legal stuff, so that's the way you separate. Put your egg in different net, not like all of the egg in one net. So yes.
So yes, very good. So 2 points. So another point is asset protection is for your future as well. You know, to protect for your future generation. Can be protected from business bankruptcy. Can be protected from any litigation. Yeah. So what it means is litigation, and also protect country risk. So if you in Vietnam, you have a high country risk because if you take country collapse like Sri Lanka or Greek, right, then you lose most of your asset. So it protects you from that. And I'm not sure you heard of 1997 Asia financial crisis, when Asian currency dropped over 500%. Yeah. And I should know that. No? Now, if you have a US dollar at that time, you are 5 times richer automatically. So since then, a lot of people in Asia save their money, 20-30% in US dollar to protect them from this happening again. Number 2, asset diversification. So again, what it means, don't put your asset in one basket. Let's say you have 5 properties already in Vietnam. Why don't you put one in Australia? And when you talk about iPAN-X, it's not even one, right? It's only 100,000 or 200,000, 500,000, right? So that is to diversify your asset, that if something happened in Vietnam, you have somewhere else to protect. And most rich people, they think like that. Because they already rich, they don't think how I can be richer, but how to protect, maintain my rich. So that's the rich people thinking. You know, so that's why in Australia a lot of them go and see financial advisor, right? Is to get advice how to protect my family asset. Yeah? Who has got the financial advisor? I have.
So Chloe's gonna have to go.
It's okay. I had that since the 10 years ago. So I paid the top one, even Macquarie Bank. Cost me 8,000 for 3 months. Just to get advice. How to protect the family asset, that sort of stuff. So the idea is that, so we educate them, you know, the overseas people, that to protect your asset, one of them is to invest in iPAN-X. Because it's a direct property ownership, then you can be protected. You know, it's not like buying a share or token. Yeah, it's buying a property. So this is like exactly you own a property. It's very different, and it's a commercial property. You cannot get it out there. Can you own this 30 million and a half? No one. No one in this room can own this, right? Because if you want to borrow this, you must have an income like at least $5 million a year. Declare income, yeah? I know some of you maybe earn 5 million, but not declare, right? You must have a declare income 5 million to own this. Impossible, right? So that's why mostly in Australia, who own this type of property are the who normally own this property. What we call institution. So like a bank, like a investment house. Yeah, those people own these properties, not individual like us. But now with iPAN-X, we make it possible for you to own. You can buy only one, and you can tell people that I own this service station, which is true, right? No one's going to ask you how much you own. Wow! So that's good news, you know. And in overseas, it's going to be very popular later on, because then the rich people will start talking. Hey, how many iPAN-X you own? So we're going to make iPAN-X become the highest. Because become something they are very proud to have. You know, then when they talk, how many iPAN-X you have? Yeah? You know, I have 5. Oh, I'm going to have 10. So they kind of, you know, and it's a good thing anyway, it's for investment property, right? And like I say, why I'm planning to buy for my daughters. Because like Louis explained, if I buy 5 for her for 50,000 times 4% is 2,000 a year, right? So every quarter she will get $500 pocket money. The reason why, then she will learn owning a property, learn about passive income, right? Learn about capital growth when she sells in 5 years, 10 years. I think it's very good education. So this message you can tell your clients, especially the rich one, you know. So now I'm telling you how to sell this now. Is sell to rich people for their kids turn 18, because you can have property right after 18. And because it's commercial, it doesn't bother about the first home buyers, yeah? Nothing to do with first home buyers. So it's commercial, right? Then the second best is self-managed super fund. Why self-managed super fund is your second best? Because like me, I have maybe about 200,000 self-managed super fund. I don't get anything, and I cannot use it. I cannot touch it. So this is for local, yeah. For overseas, it's different, yeah. Overseas, they don't have self-managed super fund, right? So local self-managed super fund is the best. One of my friends has 200,000 doing nothing, so I asked her to combine with the husband, all up about 450. They're gonna buy everything to iPAN-X because doing nothing, right? They cannot access the money, they cannot spend it, they cannot use it, so they're gonna use it now. And at least they can see the yield, right? And this is net. And then later on, maybe 10, 20 years, they can jump. Because the rental yield will increase as well every year. Like you should know, right? When you see the agreement, you know, like especially the commercial, there's always a clause, your rent is adjusted every year. Like this one, I think is 4% every year increase. Yeah. So in Australia, number one target is the self-managed super fund, and then for the daughters, and then for retiree. Why retiree? Because retiree, they have maybe $500,000, right? For them, the most important is this, because they cannot work anymore, right? Retire. So they need the passive income. So by investing $500,000, they get $20,000 a year, right? So rather than play poker, maybe they better earn $20,000 retiree. So those are the market locally. For overseas, like I mentioned, asset protection, asset diversification, passive income. Also for their daughters or son, if they study here, rather than give them the pocket money, maybe good to buy for this as well. So this will generate passive income for their children. Number 4 is capital growth. So in the future, this will grow as well, right? Number 5 is low capital to enter, only 10,000. Never heard before, right? When you say buy property with 10,000, what? Never heard this before, especially in overseas. So this is the best way you reach out to your home country and tell them the good news. Now you can own Australian commercial property with 10,000 only. The last one, the number 6, is no FRB. So no need approval from government. And then the stamp duty is only from 1.5%. So if you click place an order.
So stamp duty 1.5 for investors?
Yeah, from 1.5%. See, you can see from here. So let's change to 5. Update. Okay, what changes here?
Stamp duty.
This one stays the same, yeah? So this is per transaction fee, yeah? It's legal fee. So this is exactly like you buy property, right? If you have bought property, is this, right? You pay the solicitor fee, you pay stamp duty, right? So this is the proof that it's an actual property transaction. So stamp duty is still 1.5%. I'm not sure they updated. Just try 500. 500 update. So 5 million is wrong. So this one is not updated yet. Because after 100,000 it becomes 1.6%. Then up to 300 something is 2%, 2.6%. Only above 400 is 4%. Maximum is 4%. So if you buy up to 100, it's still 1.5%, 1.5 something. So still very good compared to residential, right? So now you can sell commercial. And the good thing is it can start from one lot only. So let's say you proceed to check out. What happened? Because you are not registered yet, it will ask you to register. So this is when your client must register. And if you don't provide the QR code, then it's not your customer. Alright? So once they register, so that's why it's always better for them to register first. So it's gonna be your customer. And we have how it works already, explain everything, and we're gonna upload the testimonial and upload the video as well. Upload our television interview and everything, so it's more legit and sending a strong message. I can't log in on this one because I forgot my password. But once can you log in? Do you remember your password? Yeah. So go to login because I want to show them where to see check your balance and how to transfer money.
Makes sense. I think I must have missed. Is this still?
And this is where you can see your transaction, if any. I don't think you have yet. No. Make a deposit. So this is Handy already transferred $1.
Yeah.
And it's immediately, yeah?
Yeah. Straight away.
Which one do you use? The PayID or?
Pay ID. Why don't you do it now? Another $1. Pay ID. No, don't do it. Do it on your phone. It will change immediately. So to show you that it's working. So for transferring, so everyone when you register and verified, you will be created with your own pay ID. Because this is your own account, so your own pay ID. It costs me $1.50 every time you create it. So company actually has a lot of costs, running costs. And then if you want to transfer the money, you can transfer. This is your bank account. So it's created, your trust account. So everyone has a different account number. Yeah. And then this is your overseas. So this is your unit number, I9699334. This is your unit number. We use I is iPAN. We always use I. So yeah, have you transferred?
Yes.
Okay. Refresh that, please. How do you refresh? Go up. Oh, this one. This sign. Refresh. Yeah. There you go. Eh? In how many seconds? It's working.
Listen.
So to withdraw, and they have to create an account. Go to withdraw. He hasn't added account. So it's as easy as
a bank account.
Yeah. So you create your own. It's not us. You create where you want to add account, where you want to transfer. So you control everything. It's like really like when you invest in shares and yeah, where you create an account, you transfer money in, and then you purchase. So what happens when Andy wants to buy? Now Andy go to marketplace, and let's say you want to buy this. Go down, go by the service station. Go to place an order. Yes. Okay. Go down and proceed to check out. Place order. So what happened? Go down and pay. So this is live, yeah? It's not testing. So it will tell you you don't have money. So next 2 weeks, I hope you guys can set up your SMSF or anything, or deposit the money to ready, and then bring your customer. We do live purchase here.